a success, and I am not a failure, I am a success. Just that kind of stuff happens along the way to get me tweaked, to get what I need to do. And then there's the next one. I can't itis. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, what do you think I am? Some kind of Einstein or something? Ever heard that one? Yeah, well, you know what Albert Einstein said to go along with the I can't. I'm neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. You don't have to be smart. All you got to do is know how to use that third quality of the mind. Curiosity is where you're looking at something and asking questions. If you ask questions, you get answers. Just make sure you're asking the right question, not, what the hell's wrong with me? Why does this crap always happen to me? Wrong question. Because if you want an answer to that, you're going to get it. I don't want to know that, do you? What do you want to know? What do I need to know about myself that keeps bringing these experiences to me? Right question, wrong question. So when you're asking questions, like Einstein said here, being curious, just be aware of what you want to be curious about. You want to be curious about why you got the problem and how it happened and how many times you've done it? I started looking at that. I realized I didn't do 5,000 wrong things. I only did 3 or 4 times things wrong 1,000 or 2 times each. That's real learning, and I can get rid of that. Oh, God, I had so many problems, you don't want to know about them. And so many people say, I can't. I like what Yoda says about that. You know, he calls it, but Luke says, I'll try, or I can't. He says, you know, we don't try. Well, we either do or don't. Get off the trying stuff. It don't work. Well, here now, when you're going along and you get a little wisdom and you want to share stuff, make sure you share like Jesus did. You see, Jesus didn't practice what he preached. Got your attention? Jesus preached what he practiced. Big difference. How important is that? I got a young partner in my business now. He's 33 years old. And we work really well together. I introduced him to one of my buddies that's a 50% owner in the Blues Can to do some marketing and that. We're having a meeting yesterday. And there's 4 of us old guys. Old guy from the Maritimes, old guy from Ontario, old guy from the area here, and the young guy was my paper boy in 1972, and he just was kind of one of us in a different way, you know. AJ says to all these 4 old guys, different places, all had rugged youth, I guess you would call it. I'm going to be a father in a few months. What advice would you guys give me? Okay? You got 4 old guys that have been through all of that in different parts of the country, except for AJ, except for Pee Wee, my paper boy, and all 4 of us told them the same thing, and how to raise your children. Number 1, teach them respect. But not only teach them, be it. Respect is the greatest thing that you can learn, because on the streets, if you don't learn respect, it's really harsh. You learn it or else. Or else. In the regular world here, you don't have the harshness of respect, but it's a really good thing. Because doesn't everybody here want to be respected? Does everybody here try to respect everybody else? And if you're having any problems with that with other people, that's because you're not respecting yourself enough. Hello, take that home. Respect begins here. Second thing, be honest. No matter how bad it is, do not tell your kids a lie. My daughter's 14 and comes to me and said, Dad, did you ever hit my mom? Because Mom said that. And I told her that I'd always wanted to tell her the truth. And I said, no, I didn't do that. I never did that, but I lost it once, and I was going to kill her. Truth. I did. I snapped. Was going to kill her. And I told her, honestly, I said, I could kill her, but I'm not the kind of person that could beat her up and keep doing that. Weird? Maybe, but it was true. Okay? Maybe not what you want to tell your kid, but it was the truth. And each one of us said how important that was, no matter how bad it is. My daughter's 50 today. Does she value and respect what I taught her about that? You darn right she does. Because she always got the truth. Don't matter what it was, and believe me, sometimes it wasn't nice. The third thing, and the most important thing, is don't tell your kid what to do and not to do unless you're doing it. If you don't want them to do that, don't tell them, show them. Every one of us were pretty decrepit. We straightened out and we showed our kids what we tell them that would be good and not to do and to do. Now, isn't that interesting? That happened that way. Okay, so preach what you practice. Don't preach what you read in a book. It's not relevant. It has more meaning. Next point. Clint Eastwood, Plato, both wise guys, I like them both, said the same thing. Start each day with gratitude. Wake up with gratitude. Clint Eastwood said, they asked him, what's your success rate? Why are you still working? Because he says, I get up each day and I start each day with gratitude and I don't let the old man in. Really good to do that. Plato said, a great mind is a grateful mind which eventually attracts to it great things. Well, I got nothing to be grateful for. You're talking, aren't you? They don't call today the present for no reason. People always said to me, Santa, you didn't give me a gift. Give me a gift. You got it. What? It's today. Today is the greatest gift you have. And I'm giving it to you because you're not aware of it, and this is why they call it the present, because it's a present. Unwrap it and enjoy it. They walk away going like this, a lot of them, but okay. Attitude. Next, really important. Focus your attention on your intention. Some people call them goals, objectives, visions. Don't matter. That's your intention. Where's your attention? How many set good goals and never got anywhere with them this year or never got started anything? Anybody like it's okay to be honest? Nobody here. Okay. Oh, one. Yeah. Right. Okay? Your intention was good, but your attention hasn't been. Because your attention hasn't been on the intention. If it has been, it's all the reasons why you can't get started right now. Get out of that. Just put your attention on your intention. One of my intentions in the bucket list was to have a bit part in a major movie. Because I thought I could just do a good job of it. I wanted to try it. Well, I got pretty busy with stuff, put it on the backyard and the bulletin there, and after several years of having it there, and damn, something interesting happening. I got recruited by a casting director to be in a flick. And there's the couple that are in love, and then the other main character, which is me. And I met with the producer or director, and it's a love story in Kensington. Christmas in Kensington on January 5th and 6th. Of course, they're going to shoot it at night, but they can't do the night, so they have to do it at 6 in the morning while it's dark. It was a little chilly, 19 below, 25 below on the set at 6 in the morning, Monday with Santa there. Ho, ho, ho. But, I got into it. And the other part of my role is Clarence, and it's Santa just wanting a little bit different of a fun, so he's the proprietor and projectionist and everything of the old Plaza Theater, movie theater. He's up in the marquee and making announcements when the power goes out, stuff like that. So I got to do that for a couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. How do you think that neat? Yeah, and I didn't go try out or nothing. They recruited me. That's how it works, folks. All you got to do is believe in something, put the energy, and have the willingness. Yeah, I checked this out, checked that out. It didn't work, blah, 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 blah. But it's still there. When you do it, consciousness will draw you into the experience. And so one of the other experiences I wanted to have and do is finish my documentary on my life. Well, guess what happened? That was Monday and Tuesday, and on Thursday and Friday, we did the shooting for the rest of my documentary and all the interviews. Should be interesting, especially when you got your ex-wife on one of them. Not many guys would do a documentary on their life and do that, by the way. True story, yeah. Okay, so I got it all together, and I'm really excited. Now, this is how it works. I have that idea, never knew what I was going to do once it started, and now I got this idea. I got it, all the production's done. Now it's just the editing and the finishing, and I know how it's going to be done. Wrong. I thought I knew. The person doing it all says, I can't help you anymore with it because I'm too busy this year, and my editor's all tied up, and woof. Well, so what did I do? Just what you do when you fall down and get the wind knocked out of you. You don't whine and snivel. You just get up, get your air back, and go on. Is that true? Everybody know what I'm talking? Same as me. So what am I going to do? So I opened up my mind, and oh, man, you wouldn't believe the great ideas I got. And in addition to this, it didn't cost me any more money. I got all of that done so far for just under $10K. Everything. I get all the film, and I get to go back to the original, take out a few things I didn't like from the comments I got from many people I gave the preview to, put in things I want, and then get an editor to put it together. Now, how do you like that? Way better than I could have thought, but you see, when we initially get going in a direction and we think we know that this is the right way to go, and it is, but all of a sudden, oof, it's no longer the right way to go. And a lot of us, when we get that, oof, we stop. Oh no, if this would have happened, that would have happened. But it doesn't matter what would have happened. It only matters that that happened. What am I going to do about it? Right? Okay? So that's coming. It's going to be a little longer than I thought, but I expect to have that and the other thing done sometime this year. And my book's started. Okay? Well, okay. Last thing here, I think that's just about enough. I got one more point here other than, remember, the greatest thing I ever learned, Diddy, focus your attention on your intention. If what you want to do isn't happening, where's your intention going? On everything else, and I'll put that on the back burner and get to it when I get time? It don't work like that. You think I knew how to do all this stuff? Didn't have a clue. I didn't know I was going to do a program and a documentary. I only thought I was going to write a book. I got started and I got sidetracked with those other two things, which are good, but, you know. Okay. I come across something that I saw. Isn't this interesting? As usual, I'm walking down the street in Kensington, and there's this positive place there. They got all kinds of things, and they got this little thing on their window. And man, it grabbed me. 3 times it grabbed me, so I wrote it down. I have to share it. It says, this is on their window of their business. Your body hears everything you think or say. Think about that. Your body hears everything you think or say. Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, you know, anytime you think something or say something, it creates energy, a vibration. A vibration goes into your body. If your body's screwed up, well, maybe you're not thinking the right way. Okay? Think about that. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is a little thing I heard a man talk about. And he was one of my mentors. I followed him in all his courses and that. He used to get 5,000 morning service, 5,000 evening service in Michigan, 10,000 a day. His name was Jack Boland. And he was a real good mentor of mine. I followed him, met with him, did a lot of stuff with him in the early years. And then, you know, ultimately, time for him to leave. He contracted cancer, and, you know, he was dying. And one thing he wanted to do before he passed, it was about a week before he passed, he's in the hospital bed all cranked up, and he wanted to do one last talk. So they geared up everything, and he did his last talk. The talk is, any one of us could do the talk. Okay. You just have to fill your own story in on the talk, but it's the title that gives you the story that you fill in. And do you know what the title of his talk was? If not now, when? Got it? If not now, when? Don't wait for the when. And that's what he was talking about. Do it now. I wanted to do this, and I'm dying. If not now, when? Don't wait till next week. That ain't going to work. A lot of courage to do that. And then one of my clients had just made major steps, an old guy, and it's the captain. Oh, he was a hard one. Very intelligent man, soft inside, but hard on the outside. One of the guys that you got to get the hammer and beat his head to soften up the meat, you know, just like you used to do in the old days to tenderize meat. Some people are, some of it, you know, some of you know that you got to get beat a little bit before it softens up and you get it. Don't look at the inside of my head, please. And he sent me this. He said, the clock of time, or the clock of life, is wound but once, and no man has the power to say just when the hands will stop at late or early hour. To lose one's wealth is sad indeed. To lose one's health, far more. To lose one's soul is such a loss as no man can restore. So I live, love, and work with a will, but place no faith in tomorrow. For the hands of time may then be still. So do it now. Get started. If you don't finish it, who cares? Have you ever seen some work that a man started and never finished? And is there any value to it or worth? I went to Florence because I get tired of hearing about this art, and I wanted to go see Michelangelo's David. Because, I mean, you know, how could it be like that? You can ask Anna. I stood there and I had tears in my eyes. I just couldn't believe it, how beautiful it was. It wasn't beautiful, but it was, because you could just feel the essence and the energy of the man, And he used to go see a stone because he knew what he wanted, and he found a stone with that in it. Took it back, and he said, I just chipped away the pieces. The only man that ever does sculpture that never built a model. Just a few drawings. And he had these 3. And he got them half done. And he passed, because I think the Pope had him doing something in the Vatican. You know, that kind of stuff. People interfere with what you're doing. And the 3 of them are called the 3 prisoners. The 3 different. And when you see them, honest to God, you're standing there looking at them, and they look alive. They look alive, and every one of them's half done, but every one of them looks like they're trying to get out of the stone. Now, I don't know bo diddly about art. Nothing. Zero. I'm not artistic at all. But that's about the best I could describe what I saw. Hey, Anna? Freaking unbelievable. So don't ever think that you don't have enough time, because who cares? The important thing is you got something that is special. You've all got a gift. You can't do what I can do. I can't do what any of you can do. You know, so what? But you got to get out there and let that resonate. It doesn't matter what anybody else. Do you think anybody ever said, "You're doing what, Doug? You're crazy"? They started that when I was a bad boy. And then when I turned good, it really picked up, because nobody ever thought I could be nice. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, let's face it. So, you know, next time you look at the mirror, look in there with a little bit of compassion, a kind heart, and know that, you know, there's something there that can bring you that peace, prosperity, fulfillment, and joy. And nobody's going to tell you what that is. My documentary is From the Outhouse to the Penthouse. And we all have an outhouse, the bottom, and the penthouse. In my documentary, I didn't know how to do the penthouse part, and then it come to me. On the last day of shooting, I got them to do an extra shot. And there's my daughter, my grandson, and my great-granddaughter and me playing together in the living room. That is my penthouse. Don't matter bo diddly about money or stuff. I don't think you give me millions of dollars. That would not be as valuable as what I got right there. That's my penthouse. Okay, everybody's penthouse is going to be different. No man can be a judge of your penthouse. If they try to be, tell them to flip them the biscuit. If you don't want to call me, I'll do it for you. The outhouse, 1972, July. I got off crystal meth, Detroit rock crystal. Banging it. And woke up one day and I was just a mess. And I was going to end it all. Then the voice spoke. But your mother loves you. Now, would you believe that somebody was there can have my penthouse? Well, it's true. Was it easy? Hell no. If anybody tells you it's easy, they're lying. It was tough. Was it worth it? Absolutely, every inch of the way. Because I went and created a lot of good things and helped a lot of people. Talked to my main man that's doing a documentary, going a little longer, but this is interesting, Steve. Lost his wife, lost his children, lost his job, lost his home, lost everything, hopping around for a couple of years to bedroom, Chesterfield to Chesterfield. Ended up really distraught at a couple of people's place in Calgary, his last go at it, and they happened to have been clients of mine at separate times and both went through my program and are actually doing really well now because they worked it. And they said, well, we'll take you on if that's the condition. You have to do Doug's program with them. So I got it written, and he starts his testimonial. I was laying in the basement, unfinished, of my friend's house, looking up at the ceiling about where I'd come in my life and what I'd become, and just looking at which one of the rafters would be the best to hang myself on from. 8 years later, from that, 8 years. And I chatted with him last night. Got interested in audiology, went back, took the Canadian course, top marks in the country, one of the top marks they ever had. Not a dummy. Worked around a bit, helped his family, got with his kids, helped his daughter become a guy. Went through that with his family, everybody, everything. His ex-wife's pissed off at him, though, because he fixed that, and she's mad that he's so happy. But you know how that goes sometimes. Yeah. And he went around, met another lady. They just bought a house in Powell River. And this guy that owns an interest in about 80 odd geology businesses across the country approached them and said, I'd like to go in business with you. You're going to do the business. I'm going to put everything up, and you get 50%. And he just opened his clinic 3 weeks ago. Okay? Now, do you hear that? Do you hear where he was? He was the guy with a needle in his arm, like me. That's what he's doing, and this is what I'm doing. So why can't you do it? Only because of the stinking thinking. That's it. Because the purity and essence is there, and no matter how old we are, you're never too old to move forward. I could hardly wait to see what's going to happen next. I'm going to be 77, but obviously I'm not done here yet. And you know why I know that? I'm still here. So just know that that divine presence of good and God in you isn't something out there running your life and controlling every little ditty you do. That has all been turned over to the captain. And the captain's sailing the ship. Just got to watch out for the winds that blow the sails, because sometimes they're friendly and sometimes they're not. Those are the emotions. And you can charter the ocean of life any way you want because it's yours. And I know it. I give thanks for it. And so it is. Whee!